In a Francis turbine, the discharge is radial. The blade speed at the inlet is 25 meters per second. At the inlet, the tangential component of velocity is 18 meters per second. The radial velocity of flow remains constant and is equal to 2.5 meters per second. Water flows at a rate of 0.8 meter cube per second. The utilization factor is around 0.82. Find the Euler's head, the power developed, the inlet blade angle, the degree of reaction, and you have to draw the velocity triangles for this. So this is the problem statement. Okay, let's try to write what is given. Solution and what is given. So they have given the blade velocity at the inlet, that is u1 is equal to 25 meters per second, and the tangential velocity at the inlet is vw1, which is 18 meters per second. The radial component of velocity is constant, that is vf. Vf or vf1 both are same, which is 2.5 meters per second, and the discharge is found to be 0.8 meter cube per second. So we have the utilization factor, that is epsilon, which is 0.82. So what we are supposed to find? To find the first one, the Euler's head, the second one, the power developed, the third one, the inlet blade angle beta 1, the fourth one is the degree of reaction R, and you are supposed to draw the velocity triangles. Okay. Now, the flow being radially exit, that means my VW2 was automatically 0. So that's how the problem statement tells. Okay. Now, let us draw the velocity triangle. So, if I take this as my blade, okay, my velocity triangle will be something like this. This is my inlet velocity triangle. This is my V1, VR1. This is my U. So I do have the components of velocity for V1. This is my VF1, and this will be VW1. This is VW1, and this is my alpha 1. This is my beta. This is my inlet velocity triangle at the inlet. Now at the exit, it is completely radial. So my exit velocity triangle will be like this. Fine. So this is my alpha 2. This is my V2, which is equal to VF2, and VW2 is equal to 0. This is my U2, VR2, and beta 2. Same thing. Whatever we have been doing, this is my exit velocity triangles. We have drawn the as per the requirement. Now, what is your Euler head? The first and foremost component we are supposed to find is the Euler head. So the Euler head is given by HE is equal to your Euler's work. Your Euler's work, that is your Euler's work divided by G, that is VW1 into U1 minus VW2 into U2 divided by G. So my VW2 is equal to 0. My VW2 is equal to 0 because the flow component at the exit is 0. Sorry, the whole component at the exit is 0. So VW2 is equal to 0. So it will be simply VW1 into U1 into U1 by G. So this will be my Euler head. If I would ask you only the what is the work actually, simply I would have simply written VW1 into U1. So U1 they are given it as 25 and VW1 is given as 18. So simply if I substitute those factors and I can get the, so VW1 is 18 into your U1 is 25 divided by 9.81. Okay, so if I do that, 25 into 18 divided by 9.81, I am getting 45.87 meters, which is equal to 45.87 meters of that particular fluid, that is water. So this is your Euler head. Now, what is your power developed? Power developed is what? Mass flow rate omega q h. So omega q h, if I do that, I'll be getting the power. Now, what is the h actually? H is nothing but net head actually. So h is your net head. If I take the efficiency as your efficiency as some around 0.95 or maybe your overall efficiency. So that's one way of doing it actually. So one way of doing it actually, omega q h into multiplied by your overall efficiency. So in this problem, they are given not the overall efficiency. If nothing is given, I can go with the 100% efficiency, or you can make an assumption the overall efficiency is around between 0.85 to 0.95. So 0.895 to 85%, I can make an assumption. I can simply go with what power is directly is equal to omega QH. Okay. So the power developed is equal to omega Q H. So now, if I go with the 100% efficiency, this net head will be your, so this is only when my overall efficiency is 100%. Your net head will be equal to your Euler head. Suppose if my overall efficiency is 0.95, then I have to multiply that particular thing 0.95 into your Euler head. If I do that, I'll be getting the corresponding net head. So we'll take for overall efficiency is 100%, then this will be 9810, and the discharge I given it as 0.8 meter cube into 45.87. Okay, this will be the head. So 45.87. If I do that, I'll be getting the power. So this will be around 359.98. 359.98 or 360 kilowatts. Suppose if this number, I'll put that also. Note, if my overall efficiency, if I take it as 0.9, so in that case, what will happen? Sorry, your hydraulic efficiency or whatever it may be. If I take the blade efficiency or hydraulic efficiency as 0.9, so your hydraulic efficiency is equal to your actual head divided by Euler head, or your actual head will be your hydraulic efficiency into Euler head, that is 0.9 into 45.87. So this will be 41.28 meters. That is your actual or your net head. So in that case, the power will be omega QH. Omega QH, even though I'm assuming overall efficiency to be 100%. Okay, so that will be is equal to 9810 into 0.8 into 41.28. My power will be, this will be a lower number, this will be around 324 kilowatts. So So these are some of the assumptions which we have to make when some of the data is missing. So if I go with that particular data, I'll be getting this. If instead of overall efficiency itself, I have to take 0.95, or if I take ideal efficiency is 0.9, so then these numbers are going to change. Okay, these are the numbers which you are making an assumption 45%. That's not a reasonable assumption. So any number between 0.8 to 0.9 or 0.95, okay, overall efficiency around 0.8 to 0.9, so that 0.95, whatever it may be, that reasonable assumptions you can make and you can solve the numerical. That's how you have to go ahead. Okay. Now, moving further, we have to find the angles. So that's a beta 1 where we are supposed to find. But in the problem statement, directly they are given the flow component of velocity remain the same. That is Vf1 is equal to Vf2, which is equal to 2.5 meters per second. If you look at the outlet velocity triangle, so from the uh, outlet velocity triangle, from the outlet velocity triangle, my Vf2 is equal to V2, which is also 2.5 meters per second. Now, if I consider the inlet velocity triangle, consider the inlet velocity triangle, consider the inlet velocity triangle, I can find my V1. See, V1 square is equal to Vf1 square plus Vw1 square root of it. So V1 is equal to, using the right angle triangle, okay, Vf1 square plus Vw1 square, and take the square root of it. Add it and take the square root of it, I'll be getting my V1. Once I get it, what is my tan beta 1? Tan beta 1 is equal to Vf1 divided by this component, that is x, this distance, which is u minus Vw1. So from that, take tan inverse of that component, I'll be getting my beta 1. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Consider the inlet velocity triangle. V1 square is equal to Vf1 square plus Vw1 square, or my V1 is equal to square root of Vf1 square plus Vw1 square. Okay, let's substitute it. So V1 is equal to square root of Vf1 is found to be 2.5 square plus Vw1 is 18. Okay, Vw1 is 18. Vw1 is equal to 18 square. So let's take the square root of 2 point square plus 18 square and square root of it. If I take, I am getting 18.17 meters per second. Now, looking at the same velocity triangle, inlet velocity triangle, what is my tan beta 1? Tan beta 1 is equal to your opposite side divided by your adjacent, that is u minus Vw1. So everything I know, the only thing is I need to calculate my beta 1. So beta 1 is equal to tan inverse of, what is my Vf1? It is 2.5. So what is my u? It is 25 minus 18. If I take tan inverse of it, my beta 1 is found to be around 19.84 degrees. If you want, you can keep it in 19.84, or you can convert it to 19 degrees, so many minutes and so many seconds. That also is one possibility. Now, the last component, what we are supposed to find is the degree of reaction. Degree of reaction. Okay, what is the degree of reaction? It is the your work done. That is, I can go by this particular formula. That is, your R is equal to your Euler head H minus your kinetic energy component, and if I remove it, divided by your Euler head. It's something, if you go back and see what we did when I was defining the degree of reaction. So what is the degree of reaction? It's nothing but static to your total. So if I look at it, actually, what we have static, we have the centrifugal component, we have relative component. So if I total head minus that kinetic component, I'll be getting the static component. So divided by your total component, I'll be getting it. Because in this, I know V1, I know V2. So Euler head I know. So what is the feasible, easy feasibility? I can look into those numbers which already has been calculated, and I can easily calculate the degree of reaction. So R is equal to, what is my Euler head, which already I have calculated, is 45.87, and V1 is 18.17 square minus your V2 is equal to Vf from the outlet velocity, which already we calculated, divided by 2 into 9.81 whole thing divided by 45.87. If I do that, if I calculate, my R is found to be around 64.64. 0.64, that is, it's a 64% reaction turbine. So the component of the static component is around 64%. That's the meaning of it. The ratio of static component of your energy to the total energy component is the degree of reactions. So all the things which we are supposed to calculate, everything is calculated. Let's look into one more problem on the Kaplan turbine. Okay. One problem on Kaplan turbine. It's something like this. A Kaplan turbine produces around 58,800 kilowatts under a head of 25 meters, which has an overall efficiency of 9 or 0.9 or 90%. If the speed ratio is taken as 1.6 and the flow ratio, that is psi, it's not y actually, it is psi, is around 0.5, and the hub diameter is 0.3 times the outer diameter, find the diameter and the speed of the turbine. So this is what they've asked us to find. Now let's take up the solution. Okay, what is given is the power, which is 58,800 kilowatts. The head developed, that is the head under which it is working, that is H is equal to 25 meters. The overall efficiency is around 0.9 and the speed ratio is around 1.6. Your flow ratio is around 0.35. Okay, and they are given the diameter, that is, if you want, you can call it as dh to df or small d to capital D, whatever the ratio if you want you can take. So that will be the ratio of it. So if I call that as d by capital D is 0.35. So what we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find the first one, the diameter. The second one is the speed. So simple process. This is a simple thing. Now we know the overall efficiency. See, we know the overall efficiency is given by the overall efficiency is given by the power developed divided by your Euler. What is the thing? What is the head that is available? So power or Q, I can find it as, so Q is equal to power divided by overall efficiency into omega into H. So the power developed is 58,800 divided by 0.9 into 9810 into head under which it's working is 25. So I'll be getting my Q as 266.4 meter cube per second. Okay. Now I need to look at the flow velocity. So psi, what is psi actually? The flow ratio is the ratio of Vf to your V1, or I can write Vf is equal to psi into V1. What is my V1? V1 is equal to, so V1 is equal to Cv into root 2gh. So this is the formula what we have found actually. But if I take Cv as 0.98 or 1, whatever it be, if I take Cv as equal to 1, then V will be this V1 will be psi into root 2gh. Okay. Now what will be my Vf? Vf is equal to psi, they are given it as 0.5. Okay, psi is given 0.35. 0.35 into 2 into 9.81 into 25 meters. So I'll be getting my Vf as 5. I'm getting around 7.75 meters per second. This is my Vf. Now, for a Kaplan turbine, Q is given by the discharge. See, the discharge for a Kaplan turbine, Q is given by, you know that I was telling you that the flow is exactly axial in this case. So the flow is exactly axial in this case. This will be your area, that is area of the flow into velocity of the flow. Then what is the area of the flow in case of a Kaplan turbine? It is pi by 4 into your tip diameter minus your hub diameter. Okay. Now if I substitute over here, my discharge is equal to pi by 4 into d square minus d square into your Vf. So they have given the ratio of d by small d, see, small d by capital D. They are given the ratio of small d by capital D. So if I substitute for wherever d is there, I will substitute it as 0.35 times of capital D. Okay. If I do that, Q is equal to pi by 4 into d square minus 0.35 d whole square into Bf, because small d is equal to 0.35 times the d what is given in the numerical. So I am going to substitute it. So what is the discharge? We calculated just now, it is 266.4 pi by 4. I will take d outside. So this will be d square. This will be 1 minus 0.35 square into Vf we calculated as 7.75. So d will be, if I try to calculate my t, so I am getting t as around 5.91 meters. Then what will be the small d? Small d will be 0.35 times of 5.91. So I am getting small d as 2.07 meters. So this is my hub diameter, this is my tip diameter. I am able to get both hub and tip diameters. Now what are the last thing we are supposed to find? We are supposed to find the speed of the turbine. How can I find the speed of the turbine? So they have given the speed ratio. What is the speed ratio? Phi is equal to U divided by V1, or U is equal to phi into V1, which is equal to phi into root 2g h. Okay, so U will be equal to What is the value of phi they are given? It is 1.6. Speed ratio is 1.6 into 2 into 9.81 into 25 meters. I'm going to get my peripheral speed, which is 35.44 meters per second. So what is this u? We know that u is equal to pi into d into n by 60, or n is equal to 60 u divided by pi into d. Just now we calculate the d. So this will be 60 into 35.44 divided by pi into 5.91 meters. So n is equal to 114.54 or 114.5 RPM. Okay, so this is the problem. It's a very simple problem. It's a very simple problem which takes care of calculating the speed and your diameters. This is simple. This is one type of variety. You may get a similar, what we have solved for Francis turbine, a similar kind of variety problem you may get it. So I have noted, I think I have given in the problem statement like 15, 16 in the tutorial. I have given some more, another 3-4 problems. You can try those problems. Those problems, like for example, if I take the 17th problem, so if I take the 17th problem, where it tells that determine the efficiency of the Kaplan turbine developing so many kilowatts under the very low head of 4 meters or 5 meters. So whatever we did for the Francis turbine, like considering the draft tube, you can take up the similar problem, a draft tube problem for your Kaplan turbine, where you have the draft tube efficiency. From that, you may have to find what will be the velocity at the inlet of the turbine or the exit of the turbine or inlet of the draft tube. So whatever we did for that particular thing, I want you people to try that 17th one. 17th problem, you people try that. It's very similar to whatever the problem. See, the conical draft tube with 5 degrees, whatever we consider for the Kaplan turbine, it's very similar to that. Okay, so I think this should be enough for the number of problems whatever we solved.